In this short segment, I want to talk about what's quite a controversial topic in Haskell. How do you manage your types? How do you deal with them? Do you write type declarations, or do you let type inference in the computer, in the implementation, do the job for you? Suppose we write a definition like this: prod fun f and g is a function lambda x goes to f of x, g of x. When we write a definition like that, should we also give its type? Well, one school of thought says no. GHCI or VS Code will tell us. And indeed, VS Code, if you have the right tools embedded, it will simply, when you write a definition, hover a type declaration for it above the function, which you can then click on to include in the file. So you could ask, why would you bother putting in a type declaration yourself when it can be inferred? And I tend to take the opposite argument and say we should definitely include type declarations. And the reason I say that is because, first of all, the type of a function is its most important single piece of documentation. You know a lot about a function when you know its type. So why not put that there? So when you see the definition, without having to be in an environment that's clever in any way, the file itself contains as documentation the type of the thing you've defined. That seems like a sensible position to be. A second argument for including a type declaration is you may want to give it a more specific type. For example, you might write something which is a constant, 2 plus 3 or whatever, and that's overloaded to be in the type num. But you may want that constant definitely to be a large integer. So you give it that type. A third argument for understanding why you should include a type declaration is that it allows you to check what you thought its type should be. And that's important. You thought that you were defining a function which had a particular type. If that's not correct, it may still be correct Haskell, but it may not have the type you thought it had. That's important to learn. So including a type declaration which says, I think it has this type, is valuable in case it doesn't have that type. And a fourth reason is that if you include the type in the module, then it enables Hoogle, which allows us to search for functions by their type. It will allow Hoogle to index that module that much more easily. So you're aiding that tool that allows you to search for things by function and by type. And as I said, the type is the most important single piece of documentation, and Hoogle leverages that. It looks for things not according to their name, but according to their type. So if you can't quite remember the name of what a standard function is to do a particular thing, but you do know its type, you can usually find the name of that standard function just by looking it up in Hoogle. And I recommend trying out Hoogle. Google for Hoogle, and you will, or Google for Hoogle Haskell, and you will find it, and you can play around and see what sort of results you get. So I would argue include declarations. They're useful documentation. They allow you to make types more specific if you'd like that. And they also check that you are indeed defining what you thought you were defining.